And I said, no, I'm basically selling the air, right? So you sell the air, just put your program out there. You know, pushing back your launch date, pushing back you actually creating the program is not serving anybody. How do you create a course from absolute scratch when you have never done it before, and how do you do it without recording everything all at once? Those are all the questions I'm going to be answering in this video, so keep on watching. Welcome back to my channel. Juliana Ostrovska here from julianaostrovska.com. This is the best place for coaches and consultants who want to turn social media into revenue generators. And in this video, we're talking all things course creation. So recently I launched my brand new program called the Content Empire, which looks like this. And this has been one of, I want to say, my best launch, because all the previous launch have been kind of a flop, should I say, because this is something that we all go through as creators and entrepreneurs. But this was a multiple four-figure launch with a small audience that I have, and with also not the most prepared launch. So in this video, I want to share with you the key takeaways and the how-tos and some step-by-step things, as well as some lessons and the things that I would do differently. So keep on watching. So first of all, let's answer the question, is the course really right for you? So there's a lot of the times that people want to create a course when they have never really worked with clients, they have never really worked with anybody before. So this is the hard part about creating a course, because you don't know if the framework is actually going to work. So my recommendation always is work with one-on-one clients before you even create a course, before you put your formula into the process. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that I have done, and I even was questioning my process, because I was like, is this something that is really gonna work? Is this something that has been validated by enough clients? And then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, I have had dozens of clients that have gone through this process that we are about to teach to the masses. So that's the first step that I would do. Now, if you are somebody who does not want to work with one-on-one clients, because I know some people are like that, they're just like, I just want to work with a group of people, perfectly fine. And maybe you are somebody who has already had success with teaching, you know, your framework to clients offline, or you worked with groups of people, or you hosted events or things like that, then heck yeah, do a course. Create a course yourself and put it out to the marketplace. Now let's talk about the actual hows and the entire process. So step number one is you want to make sure that you start with an end goal in mind, because I see so many entrepreneurs and course creators out there, they just want to create a course and cover everything. That has been me as well. So you want to focus on one problem and one customer at a time. Do not make your course about everything under the sun. If you're going to be talking about weight loss, just talk about weight loss. Like, have the process that you take people through. Maybe you help them with nutrition, maybe you help them with making specific exercises or whatnot, but make sure that you do that first. Do not try to cover everything under the sun for them. So make it, if it's going to be, you know, a 6-week course or a 12-week course or a 4-week course, make sure that you put specific steps that are actionable for your particular client. Step number 2, prepare as much as you possibly can ahead of time, right? So this is the mistake that I have personally made, and me being a very organized entrepreneur personally. So this has been something that I stumbled upon when I was mid-course launch, or should I say the first 20-30% of the launch. And then I started realizing, I was like, oh crap, like I have to make some of these graphics, I have so many emails that I have to write, and I had like so many extra things that I had to do. So before you even launch, I would want you to make an outline to actually follow, you know, a step-by-step framework, and like, okay, so this is what I need to get done by this date. Do I need to write emails? Do I need to write, you know, like create graphics? Do I need to hire somebody for help? Because the things that I have done, so I have a list in front of me, and I'm gonna read it out to you, the things that I had to do for my launch, and some of them I didn't even realize, like I said. So first of all, you gotta have the content plan. So what is it that you're going to be sharing? And your content plan has to be strategic, right? So you have to be very strategic about what you talk about at each phase of your launch. So whether it's going to be, you know, the first week of your launch, the second, and depending how long your launch is going to be as well, you want to also focus on that. Then on top of the actual content in your feed, you also want to think about your stories, right? So your Instagram stories or Facebook stories, and now I know there's LinkedIn stories as well. So what are the content pieces that you're going to be creating for your stories? What are you going to be talking about? What are the things that you're going to be covering, right? So those are all the things that you have to think about. And I would say use Google Docs in order for you to prepare yourself. Google Docs or Google Sheets, whatever works for you. Either it's going to be paper, and map everything out on calendar. So I'm going to show you here on the screen my calendar that I have like a dry erase calendar on my desk over here. So that has been personally my guide that I followed every single day religiously, and I knew what I had to do every single day. So definitely have something like that, or a paper calendar that's going to be on your desk or on your wall, like I said. Just have something where you're going to see everything at a glance rather than winging it. Also, you have to think about your promotional emails, right? So what kind of emails you're going to write before your launch? What are the warm-up emails that you're going to do for your existing audience? What are going to be the emails that you send for, let's say, if you're going to do a wait list, right? So this is something that I have done, is I had a wait list for my program that I have been promoting up front, and then I was pre-selling my program to the wait list. So this is something that has really helped me to validate the idea of the program, because I was like, if there's going to be people who buy from the wait list, then I have a validated idea, right? So I have the program that actually has the demand. So you want to build that demand. So, and then there's also going to be extra emails that you're going to want to write. And let me explain to you what those emails are going to look like. So they are going to be emails to your existing email list. There's going to be emails to your wait list, right? There's going to be emails when you promote your freebie, and freebie can be a masterclass, so you can do a series of masterclasses. You can do a free challenge, which is something I have done myself. Challenges have always worked great for me personally. Maybe you're just going to do a PDF or something like that, but I would always recommend doing some sort of video event, right? Maybe you're going to do a virtual summit if you're being really extra. So those are all the emails that you're going to have to consider writing. Now, another thing that you're going to have to consider as well, which is something I did myself, are you going to be running paid advertising? So I ran retargeting ads, I ran video ads, I ran messenger ads. I have also been building my messenger list on top of all of this. So I was just the kind of person, like, if I'm gonna have a launch, I'm just going to use everything that I know and everything that I have learned in the last 3, 4, 5 years. So you don't have to use everything. I would recommend for you to keep your launch as simple as possible, so you don't have to be super overwhelmed by everything that you have to do. And the next thing that I would say is, if you feel like it's too much, bring on some help. Now, there's another thing that you also have to consider is, for your program, you have to have a sales page. So you have to have a sales page. So this is how mine look like. So you can take a look at it here. And basically what you need to consider when it comes to your sales page, first of all, you have to write the copy. And if you're really bad at it, I would recommend hiring that out. And you're gonna pay, I mean, depending what kind of copyright you hire, you're gonna pay a little bit of money for that. And then the other thing that you also have to consider is the design. So if you're really bad at sales pages, you can hire help, or keep them as simple and as linear as you possibly can. So I use ClickFunnels for all of my sales pages. I'm gonna leave a 14-day free trial for you to check that out if you are looking to get started with a software that's gonna make it simpler for you. Personally, I always use templates, and then at the end of the day, I just end up customizing the whole page and basically building everything from scratch. That's just me. But this is something, it took me 13 hours to complete my sales page with all the graphics, with all the connections, with all the integrations, with all the copy. I did everything myself for this launch. So just to give you some perspective how long it actually takes. Now, overall, I do feel like it may even take you longer. I'm just somebody who has been experienced with writing copy. I've done sales pages before for myself and for clients. But if you've never done this before, just something that you may want to outsource. Now, also you have to think about what kind of graphics you're going to have to do. I totally had to do some graphics for my content. I had to do some things in Canva, and then extra things that you want to think about if you're going to be doing a masterclass or a free challenge, which I actually did both, but the challenge worked better for me rather than the masterclass personally. So what you want to think about is the slide deck, right? So the slide deck that you're going to have to be creating. So you either create all the content and then send somebody the outline so they make all the slides for you, or you make everything yourself in Canva. So that's what I did, and the slides did take a hot minute. And also think about, are you going to be doing any kind of worksheets? So I did worksheets for my free challenge, which was awesome, and it kept the whole group more engaged. So this is something that you may want to consider as well. So those are kind of the foundational things that you want to think about. Now, step number 3 is your actual promotion plan. So what I generally do with my launches, and this being, I want to say, the first professional launch with me having all the things in place, is I had several different funnels. So I had a waitlist funnel, and then I had a free challenge funnel that led to a sales page. Ultimately, both of them were leading to a sales page. So this is something that you want to, consider when it comes to your setup. Now, 2 capture pages, which meant 2 email lists, right? So I had to set that up in Aweber. So depending on what kind of tool you're going to be using, those are the things that you want to consider as well. And so what you want to focus on really with your launch is you want to make sure that you have your whole program outlined so you know exactly what you plan on covering, and you build the demand for that. And you really position it in a way that it is actually something that your audience freaking needs, right? They need it in their life. They need to learn all the steps. They need to learn all the secrets from you. And that's how it's going to be, right? So those are all the things that you want to consider. So you build the demand and you ultimately sell your sales page, right? So that's basically what I did. I had nothing created for the program. I mean, I had some drafts and rough pieces, and I already knew what I wanted to deliver. But ultimately, the program started, I believe it was September 7th. It was the first day when the first module was dripped. There is a big mistake that I've seen a lot of creators make, is they create the program, they record everything, they do all this work up front, which can take you hours to record everything. I mean, I see myself right now spending a lot of time creating those presentations, the worksheets, all the bonuses for the program, and ultimately recording and doing some editing as well when needed. So do not record anything before you launch. You basically, that's kind of what I tell my parents a lot of the times, because they ask me, hey, how's your, product going and everything. They're like, did you create anything for it yet? And I said, no, I'm basically selling the air, right? So you sell the air, but you sell ultimately the transformation that your clients are looking forward to, right? So, but do not ever create anything, because a lot of the times you launch something and you don't even get any kind of demand, you don't see any demand for it. You don't see anybody being interested. I immediately had people interested in the program before I even started creating anything for it. Before I even was in a launch, I already had people asking, hey, what are you preparing? So prepare everything as you go. Get some students in first. So basically your, should I say, beta testers or your founding members, and then you can release the program to the public later on, and you can always improve upon it. Your delivery process, right? So like I said, there's a couple of things that you want to consider. So I highly recommend having a Facebook group for your course. I feel like that's an industry standard these days. You always have a Facebook group, and it's always better just because everybody has Facebook and people are so used to Facebook groups. So, and you keep all of your communication with people through the Facebook group. That's what I do myself. I put all the updates in the group. I, do the live Q&A every single week right now during, of me launching the program. So I do have live Q&A. And you ultimately get to connect with your customers this way and really build that initial community of, however many clients you're going to have in the first round. And you also, one thing that I want to tell you is be really upfront with your clients during your launch about how the program is going to be delivered, right? So people don't have questions like, oh, why is the membership area empty? Why is this? Because I personally had some people ask me, hey, there's an issue with the sales page. And I said, not with the sales page, with the membership site. And I said, oh no, there is no issue. We are delivering the program starting Monday. So I'm like, please refer to the sales page, because I literally put it there. But a lot of the times people just don't read the sales pages in full. So you also have to keep that in mind. So the way you deliver the program, there's multiple different ways. There's one going to be simpler than the other. I personally surveyed my audience up front what kind of modules they prefer, whether it's going to be an hour-long module or if it's going to be shorter videos broken down into, small lessons. And my audience voted for the latter, right? So obviously what I did is I created each module, and I broke it down into multiple different lessons, you know, like 3, 5, you know, 6 lessons. And each lesson is no longer than 30 minutes, right? That's like the longest that I feel like is in the middle of the program, but most of them are, you know, 7 minutes, 15, 20. It's very easy to digest, and I personally prefer courses like that, and my audience does too. So, but you can also record the module live with your audience, right? So you can just hop on Zoom or any other software and deliver the whole thing and then drop it in the membership area. Like, that's also a very good place to be. I like being extra, and I like to deliver a good experience for my audience to make sure they actually go through the whole thing. So not just personally me. Now, the step number 5, I'm gonna give you a bonus. So basically like some wrap up tips and, you know, keys that you want to remember when it comes to launching your program is what I'm doing for the very first round. I don't think I'm going to be doing that at all moving forward. But the first round I did 6 live Q&A sessions, right? So every single week the module was dripped either like Monday or Tuesday. Sometimes Wednesday if things were really busy, and then I would do the Q&A on Thursday or Friday. So beginning of the week, so it gives people enough time to watch at least a couple of lessons, because I know everybody's busy. Some people have been like just plowing through the whole program, and then I do the Q&A. So the Q&A, like, first of all, it does help me connect with my audience and also like answer their most pressing questions. That's number 1. Number 2, it helps me see what are the missing parts, like what are the things that they're asking that are not covered in the program. So later on, I can go back to those questions and see what I answered and how I can squeeze those in either as a bonus, either in one of the modules that are in the program, or maybe create a whole separate module that would answer all of those questions, and it would be like a separate standalone thing. And just to give you a reminder, your course is not going to be perfect. I just want to give you some of these tips that really helped me and my mindset, is the fact that your course is not going to be perfect. Do not try to make it so, because when I was recording, I had things happen. I had to edit some modules out, and some things I had to, you know, keep. And something funny that happened in one of the modules, which I totally edited that out, but I knew I was about to forget it anyways, but like, good thing I didn't keep it. But when I was recording the module, the lesson for one of the modules, like, I was really trying hard to hold in the sneeze, but I had to sneeze in the middle of it. So that's kind of how it went. So I had to I sneezed, and then I had to edit that out. So that was like the funny part. And then trust me, you are going to have some things, you are going to have, you know, to move things around, because a lot of the times you pre-sell the program and you know that it's going to be the bomb experience, which I truly believe that about my program. And as you start delivering it, and you start going through it yourself, you're like, that kind of doesn't make no sense. So you're going to want to, you know, switch things up and rebuild it out. A lot of the times, I know some people just like scratch the whole thing and just like rebuild it, everything all at once, all over again. So just put your program out there. You know, pushing back your launch date, pushing back you actually creating the program is not serving anybody. And I want you to remember that. So make sure that you have good intentions with your program and ultimately deliver a great freaking experience and help people with their business. That's what you need. Like, people are not going to care about your mistakes or your errors or misspellings or anything like that. That's perfectly fine. We're all humans, and just go out there and create an amazing program. So there you go. That's kind of the launch debrief of my personal product launch. So I really hope this gives you ideas and things that you want to do when it comes to launching your product. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. If you have any questions regarding launching, or if you just need somebody who can actually help you during your launch, I do one-on-one coaching as well for clients. And that's one of the things that we really focus on is, you know, launching a product, so, or a one-on-one program, but a lot of the times it's a lot more fun working on your digital program. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about that. If this video is live on my YouTube channel when the doors to the content empire are open, then you can check out the link down below in the description box and enroll into the program. And before you leave, check out these 2 videos right here. I really hope this video was valuable. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.